Welcome everybody, George Taylor from Entracte Audio here. Welcome to, first of all, my shop. Second of all, take 3 of this video because I seem to be too dumb to point at the right switch at the right time. I'm going to try and fix that this time. If there's a take 4, you'll know that take 3 didn't work out so well. Anyway, what I have here today is new in the shop, and it's not going to be here for very long because somebody already wants it. This is the C310 preamplifier, line stage preamplifier. This is the A200 power amplifier. Let's start with the preamplifier because there's a lot more going on. Power amplifiers are fairly plain in appearance and features. This is where I messed up last time, so stay with me. Over here we have the X2 capacitor circuit. Over here we have the paper and oil capacitor circuit. Here we have the input selector switch. Over here we have the direct switch, which bypasses both of the capacitor networks. Master volume and a headphone out, which is actually pretty cool. Nice to know that you can listen to this and not make noise late at night if your family doesn't want to hear it. This particular preamplifier is set up with 5 inputs. It's got 3 RCA inputs. It's got 2 balanced inputs. It also has both RCA and balanced outputs. And a brief description of this, well, I mean, again, I hate using the word entry level with any of this stuff because it does not sound like anybody else's entry level stuff. This is highly competent gear and it plays music beautifully. So a quick rundown. What I've noticed in flipping switches and playing around with this stuff is when direct is on, it sounds like a solid state preamp. Okay? When we cut in one of the capacitor networks, I find that when I cut in this X2 circuit over here, I find that I get kind of what I would call a tube sound. So I've given it the value of 1 tube. Okay? If I take this one out and cut in the paper and oil circuit, what I find is I get half a tube as compared to, and tube, I mean, meaning electronic, vacuum tube, right? So I find that I get kind of the value of half a tube over here. So half a tube, 1 tube, full tube, okay? The interesting thing is that when you cut both of them in at the same time, it doesn't sound like you've added them together. It sounds like you got something completely else, which frankly is a little bit more reminiscent of the C312 preamplifier set to the settings I like it at. So you do have a couple of choices. In terms of what I'm thinking is more tube, some tube, together, a different kind of tube. And it's a really good sounding preamplifier. We'll talk about capacitor pack upgrades in a second because I did some of that because they're sitting here and I couldn't stop myself. The A200, it's a power amplifier. It's got 50 watts per channel, and as you can see, or maybe you can't see, or maybe you can't tell, I'm driving a pair of ATC SCM 50 speakers, which are not known to be, ATC SCM 20 speakers, which are also not known to be really efficient. They're probably rated safely at about 86 dB. I'd have to check the manual, but all the ATC speakers are around 85 to 87 dB, so 86 dB is a good guess. Not super efficient. I will tell you that this 50 watt amplifier drives them as loud as I would ever care to listen to them. You wouldn't have speakers this size if you wanted to listen to rock concert volumes anyway. They're just not big enough to carry that type of volume. So this is a really good amplifier for them. And I mean, most people will tell you, ATC, you got to have 75 watts. No, you don't. You stop. No, you don't. You have to have a good 50 watts. And by good, I mean, you know what? I'm going to save that talk for another day. I'm going to save it for a different video because there's stuff about power. I mean, power amplifiers seem plain. They're not plain. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on the inside. The only thing you don't have is you don't have functions and controls on the outside, but they're very important. And this one is excellent, 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 excellent. So the pair is great. I really like it. And then, of course, because I've got FCF modules and SP cap pack modules, I decided to plug a couple of things into it. So over here, you probably can't, I'm going to move it a bit. Can you see that? That is an FCF1. So it's the, again, it's the lowest level of FCF module. It's the one I had handy here at the right voltage for this amplifier, so I plugged it in. Underneath that, you definitely can't see that right now, but it's a bigger box. It's about the same size chassis as the preamp. This is an SP Cat Pack 36, and the reason I plugged that in is I wanted to see if I could hear a difference. I wanted to see how far you could push these things, and what I found in doing a few of these videos and experimenting with different components and different things that we've upgraded here in the last 9 to 12 months is there doesn't really seem to be an upper limit, and I'm not even sure you can talk about diminishing returns. It seems that what you put in, you get out. So you put, a power supply supplement into the input stage of this preamplifier of 3.6 farads, 3.6 million microfarads, and it sounds like you've plugged in that many microfarads. It sounds like you've plugged in that much capacitance. So the performance of this went to, very, very good, dare I say excellent, to crazy. It's nuts what you can get out of this thing with extra. Now, again, do you need to plug that in? No, you do not. It sounds great with these speakers and this setup, the little Melco streamer here, and I'm not even going to talk about the DAC, because the DAC is super simple. It's nothing extravagant or exorbitant. So the sound of this pair is great. Drives these speakers great. It can be upgraded a lot. So if you've got, if your tastes don't run to super duper loud music and you want to have a nice system with a smallish pair of speakers in a small to medium sized room, this would be great. It's a great choice. It's not even that expensive. So that's really all I have to say about it today, but I'm going to enjoy listening to it and breaking it in a little bit for the new customer for the next few days. As always, if you've got questions, emails, you can first of all find more information at Angela-Gilbert.com, Angela-Gilbert.com. If you want to contact me and ask questions, or you want to come and have a listen to this stuff, because I've got it here ready to go. Entracte Audio at Rogers.com is the email, ENTRACTEAUDIO.com. Or you can check out my website at entracteaudio.com, ENTRACTEAUDIO.com. Thank you for watching. Have a great listening day.